You've emerged from your crashed time machine into an alien Earth. The air is breathable but different, higher in CO2 than you're used to. Immediately check yourself for injuries. The atmospheric composition may make you feel slightly dizzy until you acclimatize. Your first priority is securing your time machine's shelter module. You have 30 minutes before the atomic power cell destabilizes. Scan the environment. You're in a shallow marine environment. The water is warm and rich with primitive algal mats. You must stay within 100 meters of your craft. The temporal field provides protection from paradox effects that could erase you. Gather any floating debris from the crash. Even simple metal or plastic pieces could be crucial for survival tools. The primitive atmosphere has 15% more oxygen than your era. This makes fire easier to start but also more dangerous to control. Look for high ground. The frequent tidal shifts of this period can quickly flood low-lying areas with toxic primitive seawater. You need to establish a base camp within the first hour. The UV radiation is intense without modern ozone protection. Collect the blue-green bacterial mats near the water's edge. They're rich in proteins and can be dried for emergency food. Warning: do not drink the seawater. The mineral content is radically different and will cause severe illness. Your emergency filter can process the water, but you must add iodine tablets to neutralize prehistoric microorganisms. Set up your temporal beacon within 2 hours. Rescue teams can only lock onto your location when it's active. The bacterial mats release oxygen as they photosynthesize. Stay upwind of large formations to avoid oxygen toxicity. You must maintain your protective suit integrity. Even minor exposure to prehistoric microbes could be fatal. Construct a raised platform for sleeping. The ground contains unknown organisms that could be dangerous. Monitor the color of the sky. A greenish tint indicates dangerous algal blooms releasing toxic gases. Your radio will not work conventionally but can detect electromagnetic anomalies that might signal temporal distortions. Keep your blade clean and sterile. The bacteria here are aggressive and will rapidly colonize any metal surface. Every 4 hours, check your temporal stabilizer. If it fails, you could begin experiencing time slip symptoms. Conserve your modern supplies. You may need to survive for weeks before a rescue window opens in the time stream. The primitive life forms are drawn to electrical fields. Keep powered equipment shielded when not in use. Watch for unusual patterns in the bacterial mats. They can indicate upcoming geological or atmospheric events. You must maintain your circadian rhythm. The 22-hour days of this period can disorient your biological clock. Document everything you observe. If rescue fails, your data could be recovered by future expeditions. Remember, you are witnessing Earth's first complex life. Your actions could affect billions of years of evolution. Stay focused on survival. The scientific significance of your situation cannot override basic safety protocols. Your emergency beacon must be elevated at least 3 meters above the water to maintain temporal synchronization. The cord in your survival kit can be used to create elevated pathways between safe zones. Test any new area by throwing metal objects first. Some bacterial colonies generate dangerous electrical fields. Move quickly away from your crashed time machine, as its temporal radiation poses immediate danger. You have 10 minutes. Scan your surroundings for immediate threats. The atmosphere contains less oxygen than you're used to, so conserve energy. Your emergency kit should contain an oxygen converter. Activate it immediately to ensure breathable air supply. Look for elevated ground within 500 meters. The ancient oceans are rising and falling rapidly in this period. You must find natural shelter within 2 hours. Caves are ideal, but check for primitive life forms before entering. Collect any metallic debris from your craft. You'll need tools. The indigenous bacteria can rapidly corrode materials. Your water purifier is essential. The ancient oceans contain toxic levels of iron and sulfur compounds. Set up your emergency beacon immediately. The temporal recovery team will scan this area in 12-hour intervals. Avoid any contact with the primitive algal mats. Their chemical composition can cause severe skin reactions. You need to establish a perimeter using temporal markers. This helps rescue teams pinpoint your exact time-space coordinates. Keep your protective suit sealed at all times. The atmospheric composition is hostile to complex organic matter. Monitor your radiation detector constantly. Solar radiation levels were significantly higher in this period. Begin collecting stromatolites for shelter building. These bacterial formations are stable and provide good protection. Your emergency rations must last 72 hours. This is the maximum time before temporal extraction becomes impossible. Set up your temporal anchor within 30 minutes. This prevents further chronological drift in this unstable period. Avoid deep water at all costs. Primitive predatory organisms are evolving in the ancient oceans. Use your chemical analyzer on any water source. The wrong mineral composition can damage your filtration systems. Keep your emergency beacon elevated at least 3 meters above ground. Temporal signals degrade near the surface. Start documenting your surroundings with your chronometer's camera. This helps rescue teams verify your temporal location. Monitor your suit's integrity every 2 hours. The acidic atmosphere can degrade protective materials rapidly. Construct your shelter facing away from prevailing winds. Ancient storms carried toxic chemical compounds. Your emergency light source must be used sparingly. It can attract primitive organisms sensitive to bioluminescence. Set up your temporal distress beacon on the highest point within 100 meters of your position. Maintain your suit's temperature regulation. The climate fluctuates extremely between scorching heat and bitter cold. Check your oxygen converters filters hourly. Prehistoric microorganisms can clog the system quickly. You must stay within 1 kilometer of your crash site. Temporal recovery becomes exponentially harder beyond this range. Keep your emergency medical kit ready. Even minor injuries can become serious in this hostile environment. Monitor the sky for unusual atmospheric phenomena. Temporal storms can interfere with rescue operations. Your survival depends on strict adherence to temporal isolation protocols. Don't disturb anything unnecessarily. Remember your basic temporal survival training. The butterfly effect is extremely sensitive in this early Earth period. You must immediately assess your surroundings for signs of hostile primitive life forms. The oxygen levels are higher than you're used to, causing mild euphoria and potential judgment issues. Move cautiously through the primordial landscape, watching for unusual movement in the microbial mats that cover much of the ground. These could contain valuable nutrients but also dangerous compounds. Your survival kit's water purifier won't handle the ancient microorganisms effectively. You need to boil water for at least 15 minutes to eliminate prehistoric bacteria that your immune system has never encountered. Search for elevated ground within the first hour. The frequent methane eruptions from bacterial decomposition can create toxic pockets in low-lying areas. You must construct your shelter at least 20 feet above the waterline. The primitive atmosphere creates intense storm systems that can flood lowlands within minutes. Gather fibrous plant material from the earliest land plants. While limited in variety, these can be woven into basic cordage and shelter materials when combined with your existing supplies. Test any potential food sources using the universal edibility test, but extend each step to 24 hours. Your body has no evolutionary experience with these primitive organisms. Your steel tools will quickly corrode in the higher oxygen atmosphere. You need to keep them dry and coated with any natural oils you can find from the limited plant life. The constant ultraviolet radiation exposure is your biggest threat. Create multiple layers of protection using both your modern materials and local plant matter. Monitor your mental state every 2 hours. The unfamiliar atmosphere composition can cause confusion and paranoia if you're not actively managing your psychological condition. Establish a daily routine within 48 hours. The strange day length and unfamiliar celestial patterns can quickly disorient you without strict time management. You must purify all water through both boiling and your modern filter. The primitive bacteria can adapt rapidly to basic purification methods. Create clearly marked paths around your shelter using cord and local materials. The landscape lacks familiar reference points, making it dangerously easy to become disoriented. Your radio won't help with rescue, but keep it functioning. The electromagnetic detection capability can warn you of approaching electrical storms common in this period. Document any unusual biological formations you encounter. This information could be crucial for understanding what resources might be safe to use for survival. Maintain your shelter's integrity daily. The intense UV radiation will degrade both modern and primitive materials faster than you expect. You should establish multiple caches of supplies within a 1-mile radius of your shelter. The volatile environment could force you to abandon your primary location quickly. Regular movement is crucial for survival. The higher oxygen levels will increase your muscle efficiency, but you must stay active to maintain cardiovascular health. Check your exposed skin hourly for unusual reactions. The primitive organisms can cause unexpected allergic responses that develop rapidly. Your blade will be essential for survival, but use it sparingly. The higher oxygen content will accelerate metal degradation, and you cannot replace this tool. Construct multiple water collection systems. The frequent storms provide ample water, but each system will degrade quickly in the harsh environmental conditions. You must maintain strict hygiene practices. Even minor cuts can become severely infected by ancient bacteria that your immune system isn't prepared to fight. Create redundant food storage systems. The extreme temperature fluctuations and high oxygen levels will cause rapid spoilage of any gathered resources. Monitor the color of the sky carefully. Sudden changes often indicate approaching methane storms that require immediate shelter. Your survival depends on maintaining a balance between using modern tools and preserving them. Everything will degrade faster in this environment than you're used to. Notice your equipment displays beginning to dim and flicker. The quantum batteries are finally depleting after weeks of use. You must carefully ration your remaining power. Calculate exactly how many hours of life support you have left based on current drain rates. Gather all remaining functional tools and supplies into one central location. You'll need to maximize efficiency in these final hours. Your shelter's environmental seals are weakening. Listen for the subtle hiss of atmospheric leakage that signals containment failure. Watch the ancient purple sky through gaps in your shelter. The alien beauty of this prehistoric world becomes strangely comforting now. You should document your final observations. Future researchers may someday find your notes and learn from your experience here. Breathe slowly and steadily as the oxygen recyclers begin to falter. Each breath is precious. Make them count with calm acceptance. Your food supplies are nearly exhausted. Ration the last nutrients carefully, though you know they won't last much longer. Monitor your vital signs as best you can. Record any unusual symptoms for the scientific record as your biology adapts to this era. The primitive bacterial mats glow with bioluminescence at night. Their soft blue-green light provides a peaceful natural ambiance. You must resist the urge to panic as systems fail. Focus instead on the profound privilege of witnessing Earth's ancient past. Watch the strange constellations wheel overhead through shelter gaps. The stars looked different 1.4 billion years ago. Your communication equipment crackles with static, picking up electromagnetic storms in the ancient atmosphere. Document the behavior of early eukaryotic life forms you observe. Your research may be your final gift to science. The shelter's temperature controls are failing. You'll need to adapt to the natural thermal cycles of this prehistoric world. Listen to the alien sounds of ancient Earth, the hiss of volcanic vents, the lapping of primordial seas against strange shores. Your medical supplies are running low. Use them only for true emergencies now, accepting minor discomfort as natural. The primitive atmosphere creates beautiful auroras that dance across the night sky. Let their colors soothe your mind. You should organize your remaining supplies neatly. Maintaining order helps preserve clarity of thought as resources dwindle. Watch the microbial mats shift and flow with tidal patterns. Their ancient rhythms connect you to Earth's deepest history. Your shelter creaks as thermal stress takes its toll. The sounds become a familiar lullaby in your final sanctuary. Document the daily cycles of light and darkness. The ancient day length was different than modern Earth. The primitive oceans release strange scents at dawn. Learn to appreciate these alien aromas of early Earth. Your water recycling system struggles but still functions. Each precious drop connects you to the primordial seas. Observe the complex interactions between early life forms. Their ancient dance of survival mirrors your own situation. The shelter's structural integrity is slowly failing. Map the safest areas and restrict movement to stable zones. Your final days will contribute to human knowledge. Find peace in knowing your sacrifice advances scientific understanding. The ancient world grows more familiar each day. You've become part of Earth's story, written in deep time. Watch the sun set on this prehistoric shore. Its light travels through an atmosphere no human has ever breathed before. Your journey ends where life's greatest stories began. Rest now, knowing you've witnessed Earth's deepest mysteries.